Okay.
Are we live? We're live.
Are we live?
Yes, we are.
So, this feels weird. This is Frank here. I'm holding the camera.
And I'm driving.
And Greg's driving.
Thanks, Frank's wife.
Yeah. I don't like this at all, not one bit.
No, Frank tried to convince me to let him drive, but the problem is I have no problem with that. But it's one of those things. In Russian, there's something called признак подлости. The one time you do something, and something, it's basically something akin to Murphy's Law, you know?
Yeah.
And Frank is not on the, is not a driver on the rental, so.
You know, I'm against you saying and translating Russian sayings.
Yeah.
Because here's what it sounded like to everybody. They're like, what is that? What? They got
Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law.
They got stuck on the word and they didn't even hear the definition. I'm like, it sounds like rewind.
Yes.
That's what it sounds like to.
It is rewind.
Yeah.
Russian speak and rewind.
Yeah.
You might be blocking the speaker when you hold it.
Oh man.
I'm just saying.
Oh
I mean,
gosh.
if you want to hold it just sideways, just like that.
It hurt. My hand is like.
You put it in your hand.
My poor little hand.
You put it in your hand.
So as you can see, folks, we're here we are in the Florida wilderness.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's in, it looks really different than where you're from.
Yeah.
Right, here's a CVS and and some cars.
All America Parkway.
An intersection. All America Parkway. Okay. All right. There's Ace and Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place.
Jerry's Wholesale.
Remember John Madden commercials with Ace?
Yeah.
Ace is the boom. Ace is the place.
Yeah.
You got the man over here. That's gonna be a touchdown.
There's a little shopping plaza, strip mall kind of thing.
Okay.
Some banks.
Thank you.
There you go. Just giving you a little. So we're actually, we're on US 1, and we're still in the south of Miami.
Yeah.
It's not the south because the south is Homestead,
Yeah.
and then obviously south of that is the Keys.
Yeah.
And yes, Key West is the southest.
Yes.
Okay,
But we're going what's it called?
We're going a little bit north. Yeah. But it's still going to be just south of downtown Miami.
But it is a key though.
It's a key. Certainly, it's an island. Sure.
Why?
It's not the same kind of key as the way when we say key. I think it comes from the word quay. That's not how you pronounce it, but I'm just trying, like Q-U-A-Y.
Like the Gaelic? The Gaelic?
I don't know where that comes from. Q-U-A-Y.
Yeah. Balchuva's Gentlemen's Club.
No.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, the gentlemen's clubs are quite common
There's
down
a gentlemen's club called BTs.
Yeah. And, false advertising, folks. You're not going to find many gentlemen down there.
No,
not at all.
Not and no. Well, you'll find ladies, but not ladies in the way that they called ladies in
ladies of the night.
England. Yeah.
Ladies of the night.
Yes. You're my
red light ladies.
Of the night.
Roxanne. You don't have to sell your body to the night, Roxanne. You don't have to do it. All right, so we're actually on our way to.
Ooh, it's bombarding me. Holy cannoli.
We're on our way to Quay Bisquain. Bisquick. Quain Bisquick.
Yes.
Okay.
Quay Bisquick.
Yeah. Bisque. There's that's a kind of a soup, I believe,
Lobster,
right?
It's a lobster bisque. Yes.
It's a soup.
Yes.
Is bisque only? Is it only related to lobsters?
It could be lobster. It could be any kind of like those creepy crawly guys.
It's a crustacean soup.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
And then there is chowder. Chowder. I used to eat clam chowder in Manhattan and New England, and I used to love both of them.
Jim Gaffigan, that idiot,
and amazing.
He had a good routine about lobster, and he goes, Boston. He goes, can you explain to me why you're not having a lobster? You ordered lobster. He's like, at a restaurant, and the guy was giving him a hard time for not having a lobster. You having a lobster? And then he was like saying, he goes, a lobster? He goes, it's a monster. He goes, if you moved into an apartment and you saw a lobster there, you would move out. But these people eat it.
Yes. It looks like something out of remember that movie? It was a movie where they're fighting the aliens. It was like a very bad.
Howard the Duck?
No, it came out in like 2000 with Busey's son was in it. and what's her name?
Oh, Busey's son was in so many.
No, he was like one of those commander guys.
Oh, Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
That wasn't bad.
It was alright. It was just like the acting was like leave a lot to be desired.
But it had boobs.
It did have boobs. Yeah. What's her name was in it? But Charlie Sheen's something or other.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Denise Richards.
Yes, that's right. She was in it.
Yes.
But,
oh yes.
I mean, you know, you're remembering her from the 90s, and now, of course, she's collecting Social Security.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So, that's where we're at.
Andromeda District. Oh, there you go. Battleship. What is it? Was it Starship Troopers?
Not
Starship. What's it?
Battlestar Galactica. Nothing to do with Andromeda.
I know.
There was another show called Andromeda.
Oh yeah, that's right.
With Hercules.
Yeah. Oh.
Not a bad show, actually.
Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, Sorbo.
Kevin Sorbo.
The sorbet.
He's a pretty, you know.
He's a conservative guy, yeah.
He's on our side, yeah.
He's a good guy.
He writes stuff about the schmaxines and stuff.
Yep.
On his Twitter.
Yeah.
He's like...
He's a Christian fella.
Yeah, he is. The greatest thing about being a conspiracy theorist is not having myocarditis.
Yes. And many other, who knows what kind of, gradual gene... adjustments that are being made over time to,
You know, Frank, why you gotta say the truth, Frank? Why you gotta tell people stuff that, is easily debunked?
Oh yeah, it's so easily debunked.
Oh yeah. It's been every time anybody wrote to me, that's already been debunked. No link, no nothing, no proof. At best they show me, they show me the fact check website that's paid for by Soros.
Yeah. No, that's
World Economic Forum.
That's the kind of person that, that expression, help me help you.
Yeah.
That's who that expression is for.
Yeah.
They're unhelpable.
They're not. Yeah. I gave up. Listen, I gave up. What can you do?
In some ways, I'm unhelpable. In many ways, actually.
But
sense? Not in that way.
In what sense?
I remember, in school.
Yeah.
I was literally probably the worst possible student. I could not function in that environment. Like, I can learn.
It's a poor environment.
But
I also couldn't function. I had anxiety, horrible anxiety.
You got through it somehow. I just flunked out.
I got through it because
I'm a flunky.
I got through it. I'll tell you how. Because there were some things that I liked, and then I just, I kind of whatever. I did them if I liked them, and then other things I was just kind of like, you know what it was? It was like a lot of it was just, not wanting to be called certain things by my parents, and at least be in the ballpark of somebody who at least finished this and finished that, finished college, whatever. Even though it didn't suffice anyway, because all their friends' kids went to Ivy League schools, and I was just treated like crap. Look.
Here's
until I got a job on Wall Street.
Look,
and then I wasn't.
Look, here's what it takes, right? You literally, you can't be a good person, in terms of honesty, according to the way the Torah tells us that we have to be, and to be successful, because the kind of people that you're talking about, like the children.
No, but those people are in academia.
No. What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter. Like, we know Max, right?
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
He's 10 degrees higher in consciousness and in brain power than all of his professors combined.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He couldn't survive in that environment because he is not down with strategically taking it in the ass at specific moments to further his career.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to be successful. You have to know when to bend over and take it in the ass.
Or at least when to not say stuff or whatever.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Or when to do the illegal thing or the dishonest thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so
even underhanded, not even illegal, just underhanded or.
When I say illegal, I mean illegal according to Torah.
Yeah, what are they? Not illegal, but no. What do they call it? Unethical.
Yeah.
It's like in 2008, the collapse happened. Everybody was like, "No, it's not that Goldman Sachs did anything illegal. They did unethical things."
Yeah.
Look at this schmuck. Make Orwell fiction again, but now it says no one trumps the Constitution. As in, they think the Trump.
And then right next to it is ACLU.
ACLU, yeah.
Yeah, the main trumper of the Constitution.
Yeah, the American Criminal Liberties Union.
Yeah. So just to get back to the point, I was working, and obviously, look, I don't have a lot of work experience to discuss outside of the times I worked in construction and did a whole bunch of odd jobs and shit like that. But basically, even on a construction site, it's very, very difficult to follow the Torah in terms of honesty. Okay, so what's very common on construction sites, and certainly with like electricians and other craftsmen, is that when they pull out wiring, right, when they replace the wiring, right, so what they do is they strip the old wiring, right, of the rubber, and they collect the copper, right, and then they bring it to to the place where people pay for it. And it's a decent amount of money. Copper. It's certain
people steal copper. They steal copper wire and they sell these kids.
Absolutely, in certain quantities, it's a nice little chunk of change. Okay, so some of the guys, like if you're on a construction site, you're working. So if your foreman is cool, right? He'll strip it, and then he'll everybody, if everybody is like contributing, helping them strip the cable, then they kind of split it, even with the apprentices and stuff like that. Now, that's not technically allowed according to the Torah, because the property, right? It's that even though it was going to go in the garbage, but you still have to get the permission of the owner of that, right? Whether so when I refused to take part in that, they started looking at me like I'm a narc. They thought I was going to rat them out or something like that. And I had to tell them, I'm like, look, I got this religion, and I'm not going to rat you guys out. I'm not judging you at all, but I can't participate because what. So it took a lot of explaining, for them to kind of like, So it's not easy.
It's goody.
Yeah, it's
freaking goody.
Right, so it's not easy. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just like a little example. Like, can you imagine, like, in the business world?
Yeah, listen, at the risk of you accusing me of Farrakhan again, when I came, I'm a person who came to Torah observance later in life, and then when I started my business in the kosher wine world, I was taken for a loop. I was taken for a loop by a lot of people who are wearing a lot of, fancy clothing. And I'm still being taken for a loop.
They're wearing a costume.
They're wearing a costume, and you know what? And I brought this up to one of my havrusas, and he goes to me, the biggest test, of course, for we know there's like 3 of them. He mentions the Ramchal talks about it. That one of them is in business. I'm like, you just excuse these guys' behavior by telling me that. I understand that it's a big test, but that doesn't.
I know.
That doesn't mean that you should not try to why. Listen. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, more or less, and I'm not making excuses for myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up like these guys. So so basically I'm the schmuck here. I'm the what do they call it? I'm the in Israel we say friar. I'm the sucker.
I don't think they just say that in Israel. I think it's pretty common.
No, in Hebrew we say friar, but I'm the sucker. I'm the sucker.
That's I think what they say that in Russia.
Also friar. Dude, I'm the sucker. I'm like the honest Balshuva guy. Like somebody recently, a person, whatever it is. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but the point is we owe somebody money, right? It's not even a lot of money. They thought that we're like lying to them. And I told the guy, I'm like, unlike some of the people you've been dealing with, you can accuse me of like financial, basically being a fuck up, right? Financial malfeasance, or I don't know, having a challenging time with this and that, but we don't lie to people. If we're telling you we can't pay you, that means we can't pay you, not because we don't want to pay you.
You know what? That reminds me what you just said, right? You mentioned the word lie. Before we left for this trip, we were going to talk about this topic.
That's exactly what I want to talk about.
So there's this idea, right, of lying with true statements. Like there's a statement, a well-known saying, right? And using it in specific moments, in certain contexts, right? It doesn't expose the full truth of the statement. And sometimes you can lie by using a true statement, by not using it right, on purpose. What was the context before we?
Oh, we were talking about basically. I was saying how it's a famous thing people talk about that men have to keep themselves, so to speak, holy, not do a certain act, and the idea what is it connected? No, I just want to expound on the idea so people understand. The idea is what is it connected to? It's connected to basically shefa, like bounty, right? So they say that you can basically, if a man does X, Y, and Z, he can basically block parts of his parnasa or maybe all parnasa, and if the opposite, you can actually open up the channels for that. This is something that's kind of spoken about in the Jewish world, and it was written about that stuff as well by some rabbis. It's not taken from nowhere.
These are true statements, but using them in certain contexts is lying.
Okay.
I'm going to explain why. Because especially when it's complex and confusing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's confusing because it's complex.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. I gotta kind of give some background for what, because you said a bunch of stuff that needs to be unpacked.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was having a discussion, Greg here, or as I call him, Yasser Farrakhan.
Why the hell what does that have to do with this?
It's just a new name I gave you. Okay. So
no, but like that's to connect to what you were about to say.
Before I start, get into the right lane as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna be.
I appreciate that you came up with this moniker for me, but
I don't know
which
why.
is actually quite funny.
Farrakhan I've been doing for a while, but
I actually represent Yasser because he was a fruit and he had AIDS. So, whatever. Anyway,
he was a commie, so that works together.
Yes, but continue.
That goes hand in hand.
He had like little boys. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go on.
If you're a commie, then you're a homosexual pedophile with AIDS.
Yeah.
That's just part of the that's part of the deal.
Eventual
package. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so basically, there's this idea that it's called keeping yourself holy, like in Torah thought, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole language of the way things are discussed in the Torah world, right? Yeah. It's to avoid being explicit, especially when it's talking about sexual things.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to be as modest as possible when you're discussing these matters. Okay, so there's a specific thing where the basic idea of keeping yourself holy is the following, where you how does a person become holy? Very easy. Here's how you become holy. No, you're gonna make it right.
Follow these guys?
Stay to the right.
Okay.
Stay to the right. Stay to the right. That's a movie reference.
Yes. This guy, a museum and gardens.
Yeah, that's like a place people go.
Place to go.
It's an old mansion that's like a big museum now or something like that. Yeah. Actually, I've never been there. So.
So you were saying?
Hold on. I just need to. Yeah. So here's how to be holy. How to. Everything that you do, right? Every action that you take, you do it for God, right? Or you do everything, like hold on a second. You know what? Let's just.
But there's it's a toll road.
So
can you move your hand?
Bill bags. So yeah. So
but I don't have what's it called?
Well, we have cash.
Okay.
There has to be.
Oh, it's toll by plate.
There we go. Fantastic.
It's toll by plate. Yeah, but I can't.
It's okay. They'll
just tack on charges.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be like extra. It's gonna be like
how much?
It's gonna be charges on like they have fees.
What's the fee?
I don't know. It's like crazy fees.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? I'll split it with you.
Okay. This is fun. All right.
Here we are. Well, this is the bridge to. Wait, is it? It's a little dark here for a minute.
Is it?
Yeah,
I see. You gotta tap it.
I see it now. Nah, it's just the sun.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is the bridge to Key Biscayne. It's a pretty cool bridge.
Nice.
And we're approaching the tallest point in Florida.
Oh, really?
No, look, there's high rises right there. But in terms of bridges,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you were saying about the.
So how do you be holy? You do everything. You wake up in the morning. You wake up to serve God. You make yourself a cup of coffee. You do that. You say a blessing to God, and you use the coffee and the energy it gives you to serve God, and so on and so on and so on. That's what holiness means.
Yeah.
That's why anybody can be holy. Yeah. Any person alive right now can choose to become holy. Okay? So that's what it means. It doesn't mean like, obviously holiness is connected to righteousness, right? Righteousness is a part of being holy, but as you can see, it's not the same thing. You can be a righteous person but not holy, right? Okay. So holiness is a very specific thing. So that's the general concept of holiness. Now, the more specific concept of holiness, and this is context dependent, right, is in terms of sexual purity. Okay, so very often when people say you have to stay holy, what they're really saying is that means all sexual behavior is only allowed in the service of God, meaning in the context of marriage, and and not even at every moment in your marriage either. Okay, and obviously that forbids sexual activity that's not when you're not married, and no masturbation or anything out of that context. Okay, so that's and that's one of the hardest things for people to do, right? So when it comes to being holy, one of the biggest tests in general is that part of life, to keep that part of life holy. Okay, so now let's put that to the side for a moment. There's this other concept called shefa. Okay, and has nothing to do with food. Well, actually it does, not directly, but shefa means the flow of blessing. It's a Hebrew word, which means the flow of blessing from heaven, from God. Okay?
Sometimes it's mistranslated as bounty, I guess you could say.
That's a mistranslation. That's blessing, bounty. It's kind of, they kind of use synonymous, right? So nice views. Look at these sailboats. Pretty nice, pretty cool. Okay. So basically, I hope I'm not screwing with the audio because I'm holding it.
Can you hold it like this? Is that possible?
It's actually very uncomfortable to hold it.
I've been holding it like that the whole time to
I know, it just kind of.
Or like this. Here. No, like this.
All right.
It's not going to screw with you. As long as you don't.
That's a little better.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, that's, I think, the Seaquarium.
Seaquarium?
Actually, no, that looks like Cirque du Soleil.
I was watching a movie.
Oh no, that's a Seaquarium. It's a Seaquarium.
We were watching, what was it? We were watching Point Break, and the guy's like, "Oh, welcome to SeaWorld."
Yeah.
It's Gary Busey.
Right.
They're teaching him how to dive, blindfolded, to find some stuff in the bottom.
Right. What does that have to do with?
What does that have to do with catching guys?
Right.
I've been here for 25 years. Welcome to SeaWorld, kid.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. The lines were good. Just like, what's his name? Keanu Reeves' acting was like horrible in that movie.
Goosebumps. Goosebumps. He goes, yeah, I'm cool. Goosebumps. Man, come on. He has to have some self-consciousness, like that of what he talks, what he sounds like. So, yeah. All right. So basically, shefa is the divine flow, right? Like everybody has their. The fact that you are alive, that's already evidence of the divine flow of the shefa. Now, obviously, everybody's shefa is unique, right? Like your friend has things you don't, you have things your friend doesn't, right? There's, it's everybody's specific flow of blessing from God is specific to them. Yeah. So there is this idea of mazal. Yeah. Mazal is, there really is no way of translating it. But a lot of times people will call it like your horoscope or your sign or whatever, but that is not correct. But anyway, it is related to stars, but it's not the way people think of it normally. And your mazal has something to do with the form of your shefa, of how God sustains and blesses you in this world constantly. Okay, so, and it is. We can't go there, but oh yeah, we're back. Look at that.
Oh, all right, cool.
Do you think our illegal discussion about going to a speakeasy was caught on camera?
I have no idea.
Damn it. It's closed. It was a speakeasy. We're gonna see the remnants, the ruins of speakeasies from the 1930s that were built on these houses out in the ocean on stilts. Yeah. We're gonna see that. We're going to this park at the very end of Key Biscayne.
Yeah.
I think it's called Bill Bragg or Bill Bag, something like that, right? It's a cool place. There's this like giant lighthouse. It's really tall, and it was built in the early 1800s.
The only thing that upsets me is when you go to a place like this, you want to just sit in a restaurant and eat, you know?
Oh, no, we can't do that.
Yeah. I'm saying it's just like experience, like when you experience something like cool and you want to like sit and eat, and you can't.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some, you know, when you're bless you. There's a lot of limitations when you're Jewing it up.
Or you bring your own stuff.
When you're Jewing it up,
we should have brought like
a lot of limitations. We
should have brought a bottle of wine from our friend from Sheila Winery. Still have some left.
It might be illegal.
I'll tell you, open bottle.
Yeah. Here we are. Key Biscayne, it's a cool place to live. I'd live here. Oh man, I spent so much time here when I was doing Uber. God. So much waiting. Waiting and waiting.
Yeah. You sound like my friend who, when he lived in Israel, he was like, everybody's always late, and he's like a former military guy, and he's like, I spent all this time just waiting and waiting for people. No, like you meet them before, you know, like before Shabbos dinner, shul. He's like, I'm just standing on the corner of this thing in Yerushalayim. I don't have a phone, and I'm just waiting and waiting, or hours and hours for people to arrive. And he's like,
going nuts.
He's like Yekish with time because he's like military guy.
Yeah. Yekish.
Yekish, yeah. That's an expression.
Yes. So there's let me explain that to the folks at home. So basically, if you hear like religious Jewish guys talk, they'll say, the Russian or the German. Yeah. They're not referring to actual ethnic Russian or German. They're referring to Jews from Russia or from Germany. So a German Jew is called a Yeki, not a Yeti, a Yeki. I don't know.
Yeka.
A Yeka or something like that. It's I guess it's a Yiddish word. And it's related to, I think it means jacket.
Yeah.
And so German Jews, from the religious, from the Orthodox world, they had accustomed to wear short jackets, right? Whereas in Eastern Europe, they'd wear longer coats. So they, so you can recognize, back in the day you could a Yeka by their, but by their custom for wearing short jackets. But they're also known for being very, very punctual. Like Germans, they're culturally in some ways they absorbed a lot of stuff from the surrounding Germans, just like every other Jewish community does too. Okay, so that's that. See how long it takes to explain stuff
to explain stuff you don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, so that's why I'm like, Greg, why are you using yeshiva English? He uses yeshivish.
I don't know, man.
It's like
I've been learning in one of those places for the past month and a half for working man yeshiva thing place, whatever.
It's called a kollel.
It's a kollel, yeah. So I've been learning in that. I've been spending a lot of time in that.
Some of you listening to us, right, who are not Jewish, or you might be Jewish and you're just not familiar with yeshiva talk, right? Some of you have tried to listen to rabbis' lectures online on YouTube, and you're like, are they speaking English?
Yeah.
No, they're speaking yeshiva
That's
English.
What my mom tells me. She's like, I can't sit through it. He's like, the guy's bekati mekat. He's like,
it's like Spanglish.
He's like, first of all, he's stuttering a lot.
Yeah.
And second of all, he's saying a lot of words I just don't know what the heck he's talking about.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, so you were talking about the shefa and the.
Yes. So basically, to keeping yourself holy, right?
Where are we going, by the way?
We're going straight. You're going to see a place where you have to pay to get in. It's a national park, and that's where the nice stuff happens.
Nice. That's where the big bucks start.
There's nice things there.
Soon I'll be on Friday.
Here we go. Bill Baggs, Cape Florida State Park. I couldn't remember the exact name of the park. That's why but I knew exactly where it was. See, that's why I like to drive. Yeah. I don't know how to explain things verbally. My body knows where to go, what to do. You know. It's not that I'm a control freak. It's just. It's not I am. I am a control freak. No, I am. We're driving. Because it's my cat-like reflexes. I can count on my own cat-like reflexes. It looks like we have to go. Yes.
Through the one thing that's open.
Yeah. Even though this doesn't make any sense. Yeah. This feels like signing up for the lining up for the COVID shot.
Yeah.
You know, why are we assuming that everybody in front of us knows what the hell they're doing?
Nobody knows. They're just going like lemmings. Just like everything else in life, my friend.
Yeah.
So you were saying about the chef, huh?
See, if I was driving, I would go over there
And
then
run over the cone?
And run over the cone.
And then he would tell you, sir, what are you doing? Oh, well, sorry.
I was just trying to use my common sense. And if I have to turn around, I'll turn around, whatever. You know?
Jungle. Welcome to the jungle.
This is just like, this is what all of Florida looked like.
Yeah. Before humans came along.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
What's up?
That's what the whole world looked like.
You want me to hold that? I can hold it.
No. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah.
This is just not very interesting.
You
No, so basically, there's this idea of mazal, right? Which means how much shefa do you get?
Yeah.
How much of it? What is the potential maximum that was set aside for you to get in terms of life, energy, and resources? Okay? To function in this world to serve God.
Yeah.
So there is a certain maximum limit that was set that you can't, you can't get any more, but you can get less by behaving in ways that are not conducive to the purpose here. Right? Like if God, like imagine it's like, you're a secret agent, you're being sent on a mission. Yeah. Right? So you go visit Q and he gives you all these gadgets, right? Yeah. He gives you the laser watch and the rocket pen and and whatever else you need for your mission. Right?
Gun. Yeah.
Right. Now you go on your mission and then you didn't fulfill your mission. And now they're like, all right, we'll send you on another mission, I guess. This time you're not getting the laser gun or the laser watch with the rocket pen. Okay, you're gonna get something else because you whatever. It's not a great metaphor, but it's kind of like that. Like, okay, so the amount of resources and life and health and blessing that were set aside for you at the very beginning, right? It can be diminished by the way we behave here in this world. So in order to try to, to receive the maximum of what was allotted for you, right? We have to behave in a holy way, because that's why we were, especially Jews, that's why we were sent here to, to try and to achieve this idea of living and being holy, right? And it says that in the Torah. There are verses, right, in the book of Exodus.
Yeah, what about give me like
Sefer Shemot, right, where it says you are, you are a holy nation. You will be holy to me. There's all these verses in the Torah, in the Hebrew Scripture. Yeah. Shh, 1 second. Oh, I can't get the damn wallet out of my fucking pocket. Can I hold this for a second?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you have like because you had like the deep.
No, it's because I put it in the little pocket.
Oh.
Like and it got caught on the hook. Because I have a metal.
Your phone, I think, fell.
I have a metal. Okay. So basically, one of the ways that people say, it's just a general idea. It's very general.
Yeah.
Okay. Where if you want to receive what is allotted to you, right, in terms of resources to function in this world, in the service of God, then keep yourself holy. And one of the main ways to keep yourself holy is sexual purity. Yeah. Okay? Like stay
So the cardinal question, based on everything you just said, is that we see that there's guys who don't do that, and they are getting
right, because
bazillions,
right? So
or whatever.
Right, but
and some of them are even able to give tzedakah to like Chabad and this and that and the other.
But here's the thing. See, I was speaking generally.
No, I get it.
And when you're talking about individuals, right? It's
remember. No, but you were saying it's based on this and this and behavior.
It's generally based on behavior.
Okay.
But if the main theme of the person's purpose was to be a mega rich guy, right? Like there's not that many mega rich guys.
You're saying it doesn't matter what he does.
Right. I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm saying that there's not that many billionaires.
I'm not talking about even billionaires. I'm talking about guys like I know who. Whatever.
Come on, man, you're really busting my balls.
I'm not busting balls.
I'm trying to speak generally. Just give me a chance.
I'm giving you a chance.
You're not. I'm just
trying to relate it to real life.
Just hear me out for a minute.
Okay.
We have to start general and then get more specific gradually.
Okay.
So fine, a billionaire, a millionaire, 1,000 there, whatever. Okay, 100,000 there. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me pay this guy.
Pay to me. Yeah. Pay to me.
Hi.
Yeah, it's welcome.
You guys
It's
too?
gonna be $8.
Okay.
1 second.
All right.
It seems like he's about to tell us something or ask us something, instead of just sitting at a booth and collecting money. He's like, welcome, and I thought he was going to tell us, like, give us a whole C4.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
Thanks.
Very strange. Strange fellow.
Yes. Anyway.
Nice to know, gentlemen.
Yes.
That's what Norm Macdonald would say.
So you were saying about these,
Yeah, this guy goes slow here.
yeah.
Calm down there, Speedy. Speedy Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, so basically, there are people who, let's say, are given seemingly much more than what most other people have.
Yeah.
Right? You see that, right? Like,
I'm just going straight here.
you're going straight. There's going to be a parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
You'll know when you get there.
Yeah.
There's one way to go. Okay. So, those people kind of operate, you know, on a different tier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where they were sent here for an unusual, you know, mission. So, you know, if the whole point of them being here was to be a rich guy,
Yeah.
right, and to do stuff with that specific, so we know that we have a kind of a unique case going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's an example. Sometime, like, you know, you'll hear this kind of quite often, and even this is a massive general overgeneralization.
So, what are we looking at here?
So apparently, this is in 1855. These large metal parts were cast from the red hot liquid iron. I don't know why they had to point out that it was red hot.
Magma.
Yeah.
pretty
Poured
cool.
into molds to form staircase, balcony. So this is the original, you know, top of the lighthouse,
That's pretty cool.
right?
Mm-hmm. So that's the light, I
Yeah.
guess.
And it would turn.
Mm-hmm.
There would be some mechanism for turning it.
Yeah.
And this was the mechanism. This is the gear.
Very cool.
So they obviously took it out a long time ago. Yeah. But the lighthouse is being renovated.
Yes.
It's closed.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool. It's a cool lighthouse. Too bad.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, let's walk towards the beach then.
Yes. Which is this way?
Straight.
So,
Go to the beach. We might be able to get a good view of the lighthouse from this beach entrance right here. You think it's too controversial to take the folks to haul over nude beach?
I don't know, controversial. It's just kind of
Nah,
like, what are we trying to show? That's the
I don't
question.
know. It was a joke.
Yeah, I mean, like
Hey,
our,
look at this.
Oh.
We get a chance to learn who Bill Bagg is. Bill Baggs.
he looks kind of
He's
Asian.
more than one bag.
Looks kind of Asian.
Bill Baggs was a
Self-educated.
self-educated small-town boy from Georgia. World War II veteran, was an editor of Miami News, 1937, 1910. Vision State Park at the Key Biscayne instead of condominium development. Good going, Bill. Baggs used his prestige and charm at the front page of his newspaper
Sure.
to convince the
We
landowner.
believe everything that this says.
Yeah, Mr.
Every
Garcia.
single word.
Mrs. Garcia, excuse me, to sell her land for half its value.
AKA he
Yeah. He charmed Mrs. Garcia.
he basically like swindled.
Just think Kingpin.
Yeah.
What did he do to pay his rent? Remember?
Peacekeeping mission in Vietnam, AKA Jane
Yeah.
Fonda.
Yeah. Baggs then convinced state and federal leaders to set aside funding to purchase Mrs. Garcia's land for public.
Nobel Peace Prize, AKA.
He was nominated for that.
Yeah,
He's
but
like my
Yasser
brother.
Arafat.
And my brother
Well, he was nominated by a legit person.
for the medical.
Who
Nobel.
nominated him?
And a bunch of
Oh, yeah.
a bunch of doctors.
Yeah.
Baggs then convinced state and federal leaders, blah blah blah, such as blah blah blah.
JFK.
Okay. Basically, this is a bunch of nothing.
Horse crap.
He's like, let's take the end of this island
Yeah.
and not
And
give
steal it from this woman.
and essentially, yeah,
It's
that's Mrs. Garcia.
yeah. She can't see anything. She's blind. It's good.
Yes.
Folks, this country was founded by a bunch of swindlers. Actually, not.
No,
not the founding.
It was.
I'm kidding.
Let me rephrase that. The country was founded by some of the best people who ever lived,
Yeah.
and it was swindled away by a bunch of swindlers.
Yeah. Yeah.
About 100 years ago.
Yeah, when all these lefties are talking about like all these guys who stole this and stole that, they're not. What they don't realize, they're not talking about It's like the era of America. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about the founding fathers.
Yeah, it's called a mullock.
Yeah. It's like Jesuits. That's what they're talking about. The Jesuits.
But going even further, it's the Jesuits are just a subgroup of the Sufis.
Fruitcakes, yeah. So you were saying about this whole so there's a rich guy and he gets all the
so there's a lot of reasons why somebody might be given a lot of extra wealth, right? Yeah. It might be extremely specific to to what they're supposed to accomplish in this world.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I said, like George Soros didn't mind. He's like, not at all. I don't mind, not at all.
Right. No. So no. That's
opening your lifesaver.
So that's something
not
else.
At all. Yeah.
So sometimes there's a very extreme. It's not a. I mean, it's an extreme measure that God takes, where it's explained to us, to our teachers, explained to us that it's very, very uncommon.
Yeah.
But for some people who are so bad that they literally cannot merit the world to come.
Yeah.
So, but if they ever did the slightest good thing, like help somebody open a pack of gum or something like that, God has to pay that. He has to pay them, reward them for that.
They're feeding a raccoon. Sorry, that's really strange.
Yeah. That's fine.
As if he's not going to bite them and whatever.
He might not.
Yeah.
If you feed him.
Yeah.
Cool. So
anyway,
basically, some people are so bad, but they're not going to get the world to come. But it does have to pay back that one little time, help the. Even by accident, even if you do something good by accident, right, it still has to be repaid. Yeah. So sometimes you'll see a mega rich person who, that's the thing, you can't like judge who's who and who's getting what.
We have no idea.
Yeah. We just know that these things exist.
Yeah.
We're not going to guess them.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's people who have to do something. They have to do some kind of rectification.
Yeah.
And it's unusual. You see, most of us are kind of, not giving that. Kind of just dealing with
just like life stuff.
Yeah, like average level research.
Yeah. No, listen, some of us could reach higher than that.
No.
What do you mean, no? What do you mean?
The maximum what we're capable of reaching is already allotted to us.
No, that...
We can reach the maximum of what
that's what I mean, but it doesn't mean that we can't go higher than where we're at right now, this nanosecond.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
So
but there is a limit, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so the idea of keeping yourself holy is to, it's because that's what we're sent here to do, but also that can help a person receive their maximum shefa.
By the way, so if you talk to like these Gnostic fruitcakes who are all into this, all this like manifesting the secret and all that stuff, they say it's unlimited. Like by them, it's like you can have unlimited. There's no limit to what you can have.
It might seem that way.
There's no cap.
It might seem that way.
Yeah, no,
you know why?
Yeah.
Because some of these Gnostic fruitcakes are probably some of those guys who God is just kind of he's balancing the checkbook with them, and they don't continue.
But even the people who follow this, the stuff like they talk about it. You see them on YouTube, and they're the ones following it. And they actually are. It does work for them.
Yes, but not for the reason they think.
I know.
See, it's very non-specific.
Yeah.
Like there's most of them talking about the details, right? The specifics, the information are not available. People think that. What is it? You're talking about the attraction, right?
That's
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, that kind of stuff overlaps with the real reason.
Yeah.
For getting more resources, right? For getting more of your allotted shefa.
Yeah.
Okay? Being positive.
Yeah.
Right? Being proactive, not being negative.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That overlaps with Torah.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what we're supposed to be doing anyway.
Yeah.
And they think it's for their reasons, and they think it's unlimited, but it's not.
Yeah.
They just haven't reached the limit.
Yeah.
Who was it that there's a joke that said forever is a long time.
Yeah.
And so you could say unlimited is a long time. You know what I mean? Like it's forever.
Yeah. It's a high amount. Yeah.
people don't understand what they're saying. They just say a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Like they don't really know.
Yeah.
They're just kind of on a high. You know, like when somebody is like in Vegas, right, and they're rolling craps, right, and it's going well.
Yeah.
So they think they can't lose,
They
right?
think it's like momentum.
Yeah. So that's
I mean, there's something to that.
There may be, that's part of
like
the,
you hear like athletes talking about, I was in the zone. The basket looks like it's like.
But it's not unlimited.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. Yeah, at some point you're gonna miss the shot.
Yeah. Right. It's a certain amount. When they say unlimited, all they really mean is that it's a lot more than what we're used to.
Yeah.
More than usual. Yeah. That's what it means.
Yeah.
You got a good shot of the lighthouse?
Yeah. I'm filming it as we speak. As we're speaking,
nice palm tree.
Yes. So,
folks, Florida is amazing.
So how does this play into the original thing that we were talking about in terms of like guys keeping themselves?
So that was just the context. But the main issue is not that specific subject. It's about lying by saying statements of truth.
But it is meaning. It's not the main issue, but it's what are they saying and what are they trying to get guys to do? And what mindset are they trying to?
So a lot of times when people say, like well-meaning people, right? They're like, oh, the reason why your business isn't working is because you're not keeping yourself holy. If you keep yourself holy, you're definitely gonna blah blah blah. The reason why you're not getting married, is because you're not.
I know guys. They don't say. Just sorry to be annoying. They don't say the reason not. They're not saying, oh, you're not. They're saying, doing this helps. They say it in the positive even sense. They don't say, oh, you're not. They're not giving you like tohaka. They're not giving you like a munition.
We're talking about a specific person who told you a specific thing. We're not going to say who the person is.
Yeah.
She told you that your business issues will improve if you.
And will improve. Yeah, that's what she said.
Or they will become successful.
Yeah.
If you do this.
Well, this particular business because it's connected to Israel and wine and wine from Israel. Not because if it was not connected to anything else, I don't think she would.
So there is some possible truth to that statement.
Yeah.
But there's so many details associated with what will actually determine whether or not you succeed in business, that it's a lie to say that, to make somebody think that.
Or maybe it's ignorant on her end.
It could be ignorant. It's usually when religious people say stuff like that to you, it's well-meaning. They're essentially trying to scare you into doing something which is positive, even if it doesn't have the effect that they tell you it's going to affect. But they're like, okay, it's it's like a.
It's like an insurance policy.
It's like a white lie or something like that because it'll get you to be positive.
I'll tell you this: in her case,
I hate that.
I know. In her case, it wasn't even that. Probably it was just it's whatever she learned and whatever she actually it was more based on her intuition about me and the whole situation.
Right.
And
the thing, and what I hate about like advice like that is like, we know. All you said nothing new.
Yeah.
Except, and you know what you said?
Yeah.
You essentially you lied. And you essentially you're kind of exploiting my desperation and and make me think that something's going to happen which may not happen.
Or no, if you really want to help, you'd say, well, here's how you if that is in fact the case that that this equals that, here's how you keep yourself holy. Dude, by the way, all the rabbis that I've heard, let's do the 40-day challenge.
Yeah. Really? I never heard that.
Yeah, there's this guy, there's a rabbi here.
Sounds like is
40-day challenge.
Isn't it like no?
It's like Breslov stuff.
Like no wank November or something like
that. So that's what goyim are into.
It's the same thing.
Same exact thing. But this is 40 days. So why? Because of Moshe Rabbeinu or whatever. Okay. But I've heard people say don't do. Okay, how? I haven't heard. I've asked a question to many rabbis. What rabbis tell me? Well, if something does happen. No. You know what they do? I'll just want to. Like, if something does happen, here's what you do afterwards. Go to the mikvah, say say these psalms. I'm like, wonderful. I do that. Tell me how not to.
I used to go.
Do you have an answer? No,
yes.
Not you. Hit them.
I know. Yeah. I used to go to.
What a punch them.
Martial arts teacher.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's not a strip mall ninja. He was a real ninja.
It's like Tiger Schulman, a very karatist.
Right.
Jewish karate guy.
Right, that's not who I'm describing. Yeah. Somebody who used his art for his job.
Yeah.
And he, then he repented afterward, and he started teaching, like Pimpley Yeshiva kids how to not get their asses whipped. And that's when most of my classmates were there.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
But anyway, he said like this.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, if you ask, like, I'm here to teach you the specifics of how to accomplish things.
Yeah.
He goes, if you ask, you know, if you go to like, you know, Conan from 10,000 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You say, Conan, you know,
Yeah.
tell me how to split the rock.
Yeah.
He's like, no problem. You just take your sword and,
Yeah.
and you know, he hits the rock with his sword and it splits.
Yeah.
He's like, that's how he does it. He can't explain to you how he
Yeah,
did it.
exactly.
He just does it.
Exactly.
Understand?
Yeah.
So there's a difference between saying,
Yeah.
how do you do this, and knowing how
Knowing
to
how
do
to
it.
do
Teaching
it.
a person.
They have no
saying to a person, don't do this or do this,
Yeah.
without giving them the specifics,
Yeah.
you should be in jail.
Yeah. 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 No, they think that, like this one rapper, I'm gonna say his name, but he thinks that.
I don't mean that literally.
I know.
I'm just a little angry.
He thinks that telling people and giving people enough of you know, like telling them, let's say, what they will be rewarded with and or the ramifications if they don't, is enough of a thing to motivate a person, you know, for that to speak to them, for them to do what they're supposed to do. It's not. It's not that it's not. It's so overpowering.
No,
This thing is so overpowering and powerful that it's like.
They gotta be like. If I was, you know, this is why I never became a rabbi. Well, there's a lot of reasons why I never became. First of all, I don't have the character traits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a massive screw up.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't, and I was in a position, what I would say to people is like, do what you gotta do. I don't care if you gotta tie your fucking pants to your ankles.
Yeah.
I don't care if you know, install like an electric zapper.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like stay at, you know, like you know, go jump in a lake. Just do, you know, that's better advice than what, you know, you can't tell somebody, don't do this without explaining to them how and being real.
How not to.
Because here's the thing, folks. There's a thing. Usually the answer is always something extreme.
Yeah.
And no one has the balls to
say
actually to tell people the truth, because no one wants to be held accountable if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Right? If you tell somebody, look, if you want to become rich, you got to be a maniac.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's like here's how rich guys are like sperm.
Yeah.
You understand? It's like when you see a rich guy, you see the one that survived.
Yeah. The one that made it to the thing.
But they all took a risk.
Yeah.
99% of them died. This is the one guy that got through.
Yeah.
It's an extreme thing.
Yeah.
You understand? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
like, you know, you want to be, you know, like, I'll just say you want to be a Navy SEAL, but I actually learned that it's kind of politically, it's chosen not by the toughest that who can survive.
At this point, no.
No, it's different.
It used to be, but at this point, no.
Yeah.
Anyways.
To achieve like things that are, let's say, out of the norm,
Yeah.
you got to be out of the norm.
Yeah.
Like most people,
Yeah.
right? They can't stop jerking off.
Yeah.
Most people, men or women.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a person who succeeds at that,
Yeah.
guess what? You're out of the norm.
Yeah.
That means you have to do out of the norm stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you like this. A friend of mine is now, 3 weeks in, and he's, thank God, just kind of abstaining. And he's saying that it makes him feel like he wakes up every morning because, as a result of stopping, he wakes up every morning and he feels like he's more alive, and he feels like he's more.
Of course, no, that goes without saying.
And he feels like, not only that, he feels like he doesn't feel like there's literally anything wrong. He goes, I could be losing all this money and this and that, and I don't even feel it because I'm just waking up and I feel like I can tackle life better.
Yeah.
I don't have anxiety and all the rest of it. So I think on that note, it's not that it could or could not bring Shefa. On that note, it actually just empowers us to at least do the right things physically to bring success. So that could be the case. I found that to be true.
Let's go.
Yes. So I don't know.
There's obviously a lot of benefits to it that people start to notice really soon after they get a streak.
They get like attraction,
And yet
attraction,
it
not
still
nature.
collapses.
Yeah, it eventually collapses.
Because it's a build-up.
Yeah.
This kind of thing doesn't stay.
Yeah. I had a friend in Jerusalem. This guy was in another yeshiva. I used to meet up with him, and he told me that he hadn't done stuff in like 6 months. And I remember at one point we were walking down the street, and he couldn't walk because, like, you know, he was sore. Because he didn't anything 6 months, and then he had to walk around with ice. We were walking in the center of Jerusalem. He's walking around with ice on his balls. And then the rabbis he was like, yeah, the rabbis just told me I gotta find somebody to get married. I'm like, bro.
Can you say rabbi is loud next to the bikini?
So, this is, by the way, this is going into the episode.
I know.
I'm saying, like,
Actually, I forgot for a second.
his rabbis at yeshiva, they were saying, like, dude, just get married and you'll stop walking around with ice on your balls in the middle of Jerusalem. Just get married.
Yeah, obviously.
Let's go. What the hell so dyed it? You know, like sometimes. No words, man. This is no words. Like, I don't know. My life was just fine before all of this. I can tell you. It was just fine before all of this. Why? Why, God? Why?
It wasn't just fine.
I mean, I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, it was like...
Listen, what is... Let's talk about these definitions.
Yeah.
This is important.
I wasn't having asinine conversations with shotguns, to put it that way. How about that?
What is just fine? Let's define it.
Not... Well, okay. Let me rephrase. It wasn't just fine, but it was at the very least...
It was more pleasant.
There was,
That's what you're saying.
yeah, there was less stress.
It wasn't fine, though.
Well, it wasn't like completely perfect.
No. We gotta get this different. Who defines fine?
Every person defines for himself
No.
what fine is.
That's not reality, though.
Okay.
Fine is defined by God. Good,
Okay.
Good,
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's objective.
But you see that the life that I'm living right now is leading me, meaning like God put people in my life in the past few years who are literally not bringing out my best qualities. So that's obviously a test.
That's
right?
also may not be.
What do you mean? You're saying I'm allowing them into
Saying the way you perceive things about yourself and about what's happening may not be objectively true.
Okay.
Like, let's say, you know, when we hear this, like,
What's that phrase? We see things as we are, not as they are? Something like that?
yeah, like, for instance, hold on.
Dude, you're not gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say you're not gonna escape.
There's no escape.
There is no.
We're currently.
Yeah. Speaking of the conversation and speaking of
the Exodus is currently.
speaking of the wrong place to have this conversation,
whatever.
or maybe the right place. Depending.
It's always.
Yeah.
See, subjectively, it's the right place. Subjectively, the wrong place.
Yes. Yes.
According to me, it's the pleasant place.
It's like Jackie Mason. The world according to me. It's the right
Yeah.
place. It's always the right place, Misty. You understand this? Hello. Hello.
We're too all over the place.
Yeah.
So good is defined by God. Fine is defined by God.
Yeah.
Okay? Rabbi,
And then
Rabbi
they
Friedman,
became
Yeah.
he would say very often, you know, that people are depressed, religious people,
Yeah.
because, you know, they're always thinking they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
Like, you can't blame them because,
Yeah.
like, the way we're taught,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, not just us, but religions in general.
Yeah.
You're always in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay? So, he was saying that in reality, we have no idea how proud he is of us.
Yeah.
And what, you know, and how, what, you know,
For
what
sure.
a good job
For sure.
he thinks we're doing.
Yeah.
Which is shocking for me to hear. That's what he said.
It's not shocking for me here.
You don't like
It's not shocking. I think that first thing that you said is more. It's an idea that came from spending too much time around the European, you know, around the Catholics. You know?
No, they kind of, look, you kind of
It's a
find that anywhere you
Catholicized
go.
idea. Yeah.
You kind of find that anywhere you go, you know, everybody.
Even with yeah.
Because, you know, religions as an institution,
Yeah.
they use fear
Yeah.
to keep people in order.
Yeah.
Even when it doesn't
Yeah.
fall in line with the actual.
Well, listen. I mean,
religious teachings.
if you go back to Parshat Bechukotai, Hashem did say, if you bring stuff into my land and if you do certain things, I'm going to kick you right out.
Okay, but
And that did happen.
happens.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah.
Right. So
No, but meaning that's something that's a stipulation for all times. It's not just
we
like
have a, excuse me, we have a
Yeah.
tradition that, how do you know when we're being punished for something specific?
yeah,
When God sends the prophet and says, "Thus saith the Lord."
yeah, Yeah.
The rest of it is just our speculation.
Our perception.
It's actually a sin to do that.
I get it.
But people do it like every day.
What I'm trying to say, no, you're right. What I'm trying to say is it's not the concept of divine, so to speak, retribution is not an unfounded idea.
It's not an unfounded
It's not
idea.
out of the putting it out of the ass.
But it's quite an important little factoid there. That how do you know when you're being punished for something specific?
Yeah.
God sends somebody to tell you.
Yeah.
If he didn't do that, then nobody has
Yeah,
the right to tell you
I'm
that
actually
shit.
pissed off at all the people that are saying about October 7th that these people were, they were half naked at a festival and that's why they this and that.
Again, that's just
What the fuck do
that's
you
just-
know?
It's just pure control.
If you want to say that,
control with fear.
if you want to say that this was like sabotage in the Israeli government, you could say that. And Hashem allowed, let's say Hashem allowed the sabotage, you could say that for whatever reason. But
Look, we don't have leaders, and even those who pretend, to be the de facto leaders,
the rabbis
are
and whatever.
very unsophisticated people.
Yep.
Okay, and it's just simple. It's a simple formula. Scare to cause repentance. Scare to cause repentance. Okay, it's like not originally a Jewish idea.
But it's interesting. All the people are by not even because of rabbis. They saw what happened, and there's a whole now big ass Baal Tshuva movement in Israel happening and also here.
That's not why.
I know.
You think when you think
It's
that
not
Baal
why.
Tshuva happened because these fucking rabbis?
No, not the rabbis. I'm talking about the attack.
We're not even real rabbis.
No, I'm talking about because of the attack. No, not because anybody told them to do stuff. Because people are just they want to. They want to pray for the soldiers. They want to keep Shabbat. They
Don't you understand that's
it's a
different than
natural.
what we're talking about?
I know it's different. I'm just saying.
I don't want it to get muddled with.
No,
with
I'm
the
trying
subject.
to show people that if anything, the Jews have an intuitive thing of just doing it on their own when pushed to kind of a certain
and folks,
extreme.
By the way, if you're aware of this phenomenon, that Jews get attacked, they get punished. Not punished. They something horrible happens. They experience horrible death, mutilation, and trauma, and that somehow causes a wave of repentance. That is insane.
That is insane.
It makes zero sense, and it doesn't work with everybody, right?
It's
with
true.
me, it has the opposite effect.
I hear. Well, that guy that survived, I told you, our friend met the guy who survived the Nova Festival, him and his wife. The next day, they became religious because they survived.
Right. So it can't be. So there's something going on that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
Because the one-to-one, you think you want to get further away from God after something like that, right?
Sure.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, listen, we know a lot of the stories.
That's the weirdness of the Jew.
We know a lot of the stories from the Holocaust. A lot of people did, in fact, who were religious, who survived, who were religious, stopped being, and then a lot of people who were not, because they survived, started being.
There's a Yiddish expression which you said. There's something called the Pintele Yid, right? The essence of the Jewish soul, which that's how it responds when some kind of trauma happens, and it's completely counterintuitive, and it makes rational people scratch their head, rightfully so.
By the way, the same
But
thing happened.
It's not a normal phenomenon.
The same thing happened in the 6-Day War, and even the Rebbe knew, like he was instituting the filling campaign at that time, and it was a big Baal Tshuva. The real Baal Tshuva movement started then.
But it has nothing to do with these fucking
Of
these fear mongers.
Of course not. No.
Because it's not the truth. I'm not angry at them for being fear mongers. I'm angry at them because it's not accurate. And it's misleading. They have good intention, but you're misleading people. It's not right. You ain't no truth fanatic.
If they were truth fanatics, they would even use the wording when they're talking about this whole 40 days thing. They would not allude to anything. They would not hint. They would just say, a rabbi would come out and say, "Stop jerking off for 40 days." He would use that lashon. No, we can't say it like that. We can't. It's not. It's not becoming of a rabbi to speak like that.
What I would do is I give them like real information, like piecemeal.
Yeah.
You when you want to introduce something difficult to a person, right? You know that they need to do it. You got to be kind of like tactful, and gradually present all the information. You could start with something that's usable. For instance, like, look, man, if you jerk off, you're not going to get laid. You understand that? You understand that's preventing you from having your fantasies fulfilled?
That's actually more effective.
And they're like, what do you mean?
Just on a
like,
practical level.
They'd be like, you don't understand. It is.
It's sucking out your confidence and your energy.
What you're wasting, right? You're wasting
your life force.
You're wasting your life force. You're wasting your testosterone. You're wasting your energy.
But you know what's crazy?
Of course, you're not going to be.
Non-Jewish guys on YouTube are saying that.
Yes, of course, because it's universal. It's true for every human.
Why aren't rabbis saying that?
Because
what the fuck is wrong with these fucking people?
Because we don't have rabbis anymore.
But isn't one of them remotely just intelligent? Just intelligent?
No. They didn't understand it. They're too refined to be so crass. You understand?
They're so crass. We're living in a
Come on,
world.
man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know. I'm saying that's what I'm trying to, for the folks at home.
It feels crass to them. It's immodest. You know, they can't deal. You understand?
You know what's immodest?
There's
Leaving us by the wayside and having us do that in our house and cry afterwards. That's immodest.
Folks, let me explain what a rabbi is. Okay, a rabbi is somebody who is able to
cut through the
extreme
crap.
holiness, but bond it to this physical world and to help others do the same.
What is it called? Make a deer b'taktonim. Make a
dwelling in the Lord. That's
place.
the main reason that we're
That's
here.
literally the definition. If a rabbi comes out and says actual words that are really related to reality,
They have to be able to. They serve man and tell them how to navigate this world, but in holiness. Okay, so that's why I'm not a rabbi. Okay, that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's very hard to be a real rabbi.
But I think if anything, you'd probably be better at it than them.
No. We all like little sparks of little Look, the Rebbe said something, and let me get the fucking thought out.
Sorry.
The Rebbe, just on the side note, the Rebbe said that there's no more like big teachers anymore. Now everyone's a teacher. If you know the letter Aleph, teach Aleph.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm holding.
That's where
everybody is.
Yeah, for sure. But I have a question, by the way. The Rebbe didn't talk about this topic a lot, did he?
I don't know. So he did, but obviously he's not going to speak about it directly. So not publicly.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know. So
I feel like.
So the point is that there are people who are not.
Are we in the car,
qualified.
by the way, or we're just walking around?
I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, but you let me get this fucking thought out.
I'm sorry.
God damn it. That's another reason why I can't be a rabbi. I curse like nobody's business. Anyway, so
whatever.
the idea is that there are holy people who mean themselves holy. It doesn't mean they're qualified to be rabbis.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Which means the following. They're so holy, they're so heavenly, they're no earthly good.
Yeah.
That's what we have now.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
We don't have people who can. That's what I say. When we don't have rabbis, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
A rabbi is like,
Yeah, we have Mekubalim, but what Mekubal can even help you?
Nobody.
Every Mekubal I've ever been to in my life told me things that are literally like
bunch
the
of
opposite.
general-
No, they took me the advice as like counterintuitive to everything I intuit. Let's put it that way. Everything that goes against my intuition, they told me to do. You know? Crazy, man. Anyway.
It's science. Look, people, like understanding the spiritual mechanics.
Yeah.
You have to be able to explain it in detail, not just discuss it generally. So that's when people talk about it nowadays.
Yeah.
They're just discussing it generally. They don't know how to use it in detail.
Yeah.
Okay, it's lost essentially.
Yeah.
Let's sit over there.
We got some.
Or we could walk.
I think we got some Jewies over here. Maybe. Not sure.
Any lady who's just dressed like modestly, we're automatically.
Yeah, because look at the world. It's like they're all dressed like,
I
lady of the night.
There's like 3 categories of women that aren't completely naked on the streets.
Yeah. Orthodox Jewish ladies,
Jewish ladies, nuns, and
like old ladies.
and
Actually, even then.
burqas.
Yeah. Listen, a shmuel can teach us a thing or two. You know?
No, I don't think so. No. You're not supposed to oppress a woman by
No,
putting,
you're not supposed
a freaking
No, you're not
nylon bag on her head.
No, you're not supposed to oppress, but I don't know, man. It's like
that's malicious. That's punishment.
Yeah.
Gavin McInnes said, he goes, if it was about like, modesty and spirituality, then it should be some kind of like lovely flowing gauze.
Yeah.
Why a polyester laundry bag?
Yeah. Listen, what is a little bit annoying me, I want to say annoying me, and it's nothing towards the girl, I mentioned this to you, the girl herself, is the fact that, this Israeli media is, I find it fascinating that they're interviewing the one girl who's, let's say, there was a lot of people who were hostages who were let out, right?
Yeah.
Who are they interviewing? The one girl that looks like a model and talks nice. I have nothing against her. They're not going to interview some firm lady or some older lady or you notice how those 2 ladies that came out, nobody has seen them, nobody has talked to them.
Greg,
they're being ignored.
Greg, one characteristic of the Erev Rav is that they are whores.
Yeah.
They're prostitutes.
Yeah.
They will invite people.
Yeah.
They'll make advertisements for tourism. Come to Israel. Look how hard our chicks are.
Yeah. Even the ones that get. Why do you think? Why do you think they get taken as hostages?
Whoever made that campaign, that, you know, that slogan or that marketing,
Yeah.
I would cut their balls off.
Yeah. Yeah. Even a guy, even this really right-wing guy who ran my my birthright trip. You come to the beach, you come to a girl on the beach, you say, "What's cooking?"
What's cooking?
Disco. Yeah, you see the girl on the beach. I'm like, no, because he goes, oh no, you know what this guy used to say? Actually, he's right. He's like, you know, the biggest Holocaust happening, intermarriage. You know, you're losing people. Intermarriage. So you come here, everybody's Jewish, and it doesn't matter, religious, not religious. You come to the beach, you see what's cooking, and whatever.
You know what Jews don't realize, folks
It's like,
at home?
yeah.
You know, like, and I'm talking about like, specifically, really all of them, but mainly non-religious Jews.
Yeah.
They don't understand that they don't look right in a non-holy setting.
That's true.
It looks weird.
That's true.
The other nations, right? When they see Jews
Yeah.
who are not in the holy setting as they are meant to be,
Yeah.
that's what rubs people.
And we
the
don't
wrong
mean
way.
being Haredi. We just mean like doing Torah.
Following Torah.
Yeah. You
which
could be
does
dressed.
overlap with with
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
one guy that when I was doing Uber
Mm-hmm.
here in Miami, I had a lot of conversations with people,
Yeah.
and I picked up this one Jewish guy,
Yeah.
and we were talking about religion, Torah observance in the past, like
Yeah.
2,000 years ago,
Yeah.
right? And he was under the assumption that, the rabbis added all this stuff. They added all this stuff.
Yeah.
And
Or like every time I hear about Kabbalah, oh, that thing was only discovered in the
completely
by Moshe de Leon, and we don't even know who the and we don't, and it was edited, and then this guy Rabbi from Gemara said that he's a guy, and then
I'm not really going in that direction.
I know, I'm just like, it's like this whole like.
I know. It's
And those guys who dance in Meron on Shimon Bar Yochai, they're crazy. Oh, those guys are crazy.
the guy I was speaking to. He didn't even have.
Nothing.
He didn't even have that level of knowledge
Yeah.
to be wrong about the stuff
Yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah,
He wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah.
He's just kind of he had a very general awareness.
Yeah.
And he assumed because it's easier for him, or maybe somebody in his family told him, he just accepted it,
Yeah.
that, there's a whole bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
So I said, like imagine Rabbi Akiva would be here today. Rabbi Akiva lived 2,000 years
Yeah,
ago.
he would
right?
slap you.
No, that's not
I'm
the point.
kidding.
He goes, you think you'd be able to recognize him?
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You're like, how? Well, first of all, he's going to be wearing tzitzit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just like that's what the Haredi community is today.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, so yes, of course he would be a Haredi.
Yeah.
Or he
No,
would,
but what I mean by Haredi is, if you want to keep Torah, you don't have to necessarily walk around like a penguin.
you don't have to wear black and white
Yeah,
suits.
that's
you're
that's
trying
all.
to say.
That's all I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
That's when I say Haredi. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know.
We got to be specific here.
Yeah.
All these things are very subtle and confusing.
Yeah.
So to be like, that's why I get upset.
I wonder if he's related to Ricardo Montalban.
Montalbano.
William, no, not Montalban.
Montalbano.
The plane boss. The
He's
plane.
barely here.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
So, yeah. So what was the original thing we're talking about?
The whole thing of men's stuff and whatever.
About like how to communicate it.
Yeah, how to communicate it. Why? Well, also the whole thing. How is it connected to actually? I'm sure it is connected to Shefa and keeping yourself.
I think we covered that.
Yeah,
Right? That keeping yourself holy
Yeah.
in every way, but especially in that way,
Yeah.
will promote a person getting.
Why the rabbis don't
majority
say?
of
Why don't? Yeah, the majority of the
Oh,
stuff. Why
because
they don't?
know, because they're so heavenly, they're no earthly good.
That's number one. But again, like, why should it be that guys like us are going to YouTube and listening to just like random dudes who have like health channels? You know that you're gonna get women. No, I hear these guys like, women feel when you have retained your stuff, and you have more confident and this, and then you read the comments like, yeah, man, it's true. I did it for 2 months, and I met this girl.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because generally, traditionally,
Don't they want us to get married? Sorry. Yeah.
Generally, traditionally, the rabbis would approach things from the assumption that you want to serve God,
Yeah.
right? So that's the reason.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna, so generally they're not gonna be like,
Yeah.
well, there's all this other stuff
Yeah.
that benefits you.
Yeah.
The rabbis are like, this is not about you, it's
No.
about God.
Yeah, but even if it's about God, we're supposed to meet a girl, and how are we supposed to meet a girl if we're down on our dumps and we're sitting in our room because we just freaking on some website and whatever?
That's right. So in the past, the rabbis knew how to cover all those bases.
Yeah.
They understood,
Yeah.
But the thing is, the rabbis didn't really need to
They didn't need
do
to.
that in the past because
We didn't have
it
the
was much
internet.
more- it was not only that, but it was kind of understood generally.
Yeah, much more sneers.
No, that the guys kind of understood if you
Yeah.
if you kind of I don't want to use crass if you waste your energy
Yeah.
at the wrong time,
Yeah.
it's hey, remember that movie we were watching, Eric the Viking?
Yeah.
Remember the guy who was the berserker?
Yeah. Yeah.
He would always go berserk
Yeah.
at the wrong time,
Yeah.
right? But he's supposed to go berserk during battle.
Yeah.
His father's like, no, not now.
Yeah.
And he just go berserk at all the wrong times.
Yeah.
And then finally, at the end of the movie, he went berserk at the right time.
Yeah.
He held it in,
Yeah.
and then released his energy.
It's actually an amazing analogy for this.
Right. So people kind of understood that.
You want to
that
sit
was
over
sort
there?
of common sense.
We'll sit down.
Yeah.
I think today it's like one of those things where, first of all, I think the rabbi. I'll give an example. Like when I went to that rabbi, the one that told me.
Machuchu.
When the rabbi that told me to, what to do afterwards, and then I remember actually at one point he was like, "Why?" He's Israeli. He's like, "Why are you asking what to do?" He's like, "What? You're gonna plan to do it?" I'm like, "You're the one that's telling me what to do afterwards. I want to know how to stop it." He's like, "Why are you asking how to stop it? Why you have as if he's asking me, why do you have this urge to begin with? How dare you have this urge?"
Right. So that's another thing.
I'm like, what?
The guy that you're speaking to is so unqualified
God.
to have this discussion with anybody. He does more harm than good.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't understand what your lifestyle is. He
Yeah.
doesn't understand what your daily experience is.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand anybody who doesn't have his lifestyle.
Yeah. And this is what's
folks-
about tshuva, by the way.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he went native.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like
I know.
you forget where you come from, and
I know.
you kind of like take upon this.
The last he went Last Samurai. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He went Last Samurai.
Yeah. So, and he kind of like
It's Tom
Remember-
Cruise. Ever see Last Samurai? He just joins
yes.
them. Yeah.
No, but there's a better example. You ever see "Don't Be a Menace" while drinking your juice
Yeah.
in the hood?
Yeah.
Remember he had that one guy who became like a militant kind of like
Yeah.
black
African, whatever,
black
Black Power.
rights activist and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Like
And he's like
became a
he's like,
Farrakhaner.
right. He's like, don't hurt your African brother.
Yeah.
Don't do that. He goes,
Guys,
"Man,
shut the blanco.
man, you shot Larry last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
he was a gangbanger last week,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden
That's-
he doesn't even remember.
But that's what Farrakhan was. They
Right.
were alluding to Farrakhan.
Right.
He
He
was a
doesn't,
band.
and he doesn't, but he doesn't remember.
Yeah.
It's like he likes to forget
Yeah.
or doesn't want to think that he
Yeah.
was like that 2
Yeah.
weeks ago,
For sure.
and he doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like
This
he
is
shut
like-
it out.
This is like the Baal Tshuva that guys that I met in yeshiva. What is wrong with you guys?
So
Anyway.
listen. So basically, to the folks at home, what is the average day like? This is important. We should have been saying this a long time ago.
Yeah.
What's the average day like for an Orthodox Jew who acts right?
Yeah, like a,
Not like me.
or like a Baal Tshuva guy was trying to.
No,
act,
just
right?
any
Yeah.
the average Orthodox Jewish man.
Okay.
Here's what happens. He
Mhm.
wakes up around
Like
6ish.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. He has a washing cup
Yeah.
and a bowl by his bed.
Yeah.
He washes his hands because we believe that
You can't take a certain amount of steps. You
Right,
have impurity on your hands from
there's
sleeping.
impurity on your fingers because your soul entered
Back into your body.
Whatever. There's
Yeah.
a religious ritual that's
Yeah.
done immediately with washing of the hands
Yeah.
upon. But even before that, the person says, "Moda ani lefenecha melechai v'kayom shechazet bina shmosi
Yeah.
v'chemla rabah munasecha."
Yeah.
That means, my wife sings this to my little boys.
Yeah.
He's like,
So it's very.
"Moda
no.
ani" means. What's the little song? She's like, "Moda." We
We
open one eye and we open two. No, it's like this. We open one eye and we open two. We say Moda'ani because it means thank you.
Yeah.
So basically, Moda'ani means we thank you for returning my soul to me in your gracious mercy,
Mm-hmm.
like that. So That's what Orthodox Jewish man says upon waking up. Then he washes his hands, right, in this ritualistic way. Then he goes downstairs and begins his morning blessings.
Yeah.
Then he'll have, and that's not even the morning prayer service. That's just morning blessings. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he might have a cup of coffee or a quick bite to eat, and then he goes to the house. He goes to the shul, to the house of prayer, and where he joins hopefully at least another 9 guys for the prayer service. And the prayer service is about 45 minutes long, okay, and it's done by, let's say, 6:45, and then he's off to work by 7:30. Maybe he'll grab something to eat on the way. So he works, then he davens for his lunch break. He prays afternoon service, which is like relatively short. It's like 15 minutes, right, in the middle of the day. Okay, then he goes home. He might have he might have like a meal,
evening learning session.
His wife, he spends a little bit some time with his kids. They might have a meal with the family. Then he goes for evening service. Okay, where before evening service, there's usually a Torah study. There's like some period of time for Torah study, right? Like half an hour, 45 minutes. Then they do the evening prayer service. Then some people even stay for Torah study a little bit after. He says he goes home, he says his prayer before bed and goes to sleep. That is the day of an Orthodox Jewish man. Okay, that's the average Orthodox Jewish man. That's a working guy. Okay, and if you're if you're a rabbi, you're studying to be a rabbi, or in yeshiva, you are literally you're studying, instead of going to work, you're studying Torah. That's what you do. So that's the day. Okay. So if you have somebody who has that day, who goes to that day in and day out, and he's talking to somebody who is not remote, doesn't have that lifestyle, or not even familiar remotely with such a lifestyle, but wants to start implementing more Torah stuff in their life, right? The important things, right? You got to be able to understand what this person's daily, like he doesn't have your schedule. He doesn't know what your life is like. He doesn't know what it takes to stay pure. Folks, with the lifestyle that I just explained, right? The average Orthodox Jew, you can stay safe from impure things, right? You're not, maybe the working guys, they're a little bit more.
I'm saying the
danger.
married guys are not, can stay
because
safe.
while they're working, if they're on the computer, there's a way to screw up, like. And then, your goofy friend, who sits in the cubicle next to you will show you like a picture of some chick's ass or something like that. It's a little bit harder, and then, you're on the train, you see an attractive woman, whatever, there's a little bit more challenge, but still, like if you live that general lifestyle, you're basically, you don't have even time to screw up. Like how, when, where, you know what I mean? Like let's say if you're missing prayer sessions, if you're not going to Torah study class, that's not something that you can hide. Like people start to look at you like you're kind of a loser. So there is a little bit of social pressure, right? If you start missing classes and prayer services, you're kind of like a loser eventually. Like, they're not going to say it right away. Where were you today, loser? But somebody might, eventually there's going to be like an intervention for you. They'll be like, we're worried about you. We noticed you didn't come to class. You're not coming to prayer. Something's going on. So your community won't really leave you alone. Okay. So basically, in the Orthodox Jewish lifestyle, you can kind of, you can keep yourself away from things, generally, from things that you should keep yourself away from. But the way me and Greg grew up, we didn't grow up in that environment at all, and we don't even live in that environment because our families and our entire our friends and all that kind of stuff, essentially, they don't know anything about that kind of Torah life.
But mine do, because I decided to gravitate more towards people.
Right. My parents do now too, but I'm talking about when we were coming up. Understand? My brother, the same thing. The same struggles, the same everything. But my brother went native. You know what I mean?
I know he did.
All right, great.
Yeah, I know he went native. I tried to a little bit go native. I tried to see if I could, even half what. I lived in Crown Heights for 3 years,
For some of the folks at home, when I'm using the term "go native," I'm using that kind of in jest, and maybe some people don't even really know what that means. Like Dances with Wolves. And Greg mentioned the Last Samurai, but Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves, he joined the tribe, right? And he became essentially, after a little while, he became He went native.
Yeah. But in this case, going native doesn't mean like. It means joining a particular, the Orthodox world with
But
all
it's
its.
like you take on a persona.
Yeah,
you
it is
even
a
start
persona,
using the terms that they use.
Yeah. Listen,
Hey.
some of the terms are effective, or kind of it makes things easier.
Hey, it's like Keanu Reeves in Point Break.
Yeah.
Remember? It's like he had to join the surf tribe.
Well, something with some of the terms, some of them actually now just come naturally to me. The terms, it's part of my natural language.
I know.
It's
The
not.
folks at home know too, Greg.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't even think about it anymore. That's really the only thing that kind of stuck. But what didn't?
Those houses, isn't that
It's
awesome?
pretty cool.
Can you get like footage?
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Folks, can you see that?
Yeah. The only thing that didn't stick was just. Ugh, whatever. I won't even get into it. Anyway.
Bro, look. Everybody kind of, when they start out, they kind of slightly go native to spend some time, on the reservation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of us just literally don't have the option.
Yeah.
Of living on the reservation.
And by the way,
we learn and we try to take it back to our own environment.
And by the way, there's a going native in terms of the way things are done in America, in the American Orthodoxy world, versus let's say
we don't need to get into that.
No, we can. No, versus if you go to Israel,
that's really niche. I don't know if the folks at home can relate to that.
It's not that niche because actually it's not niche. It's actually important. It's not dafka not niche because what they've created in Israel, as far as like if you go to the settlements, Judea and Samaria, for example, a woman can be modest, but she was wearing jeans, and she's Orthodox, and she's Shomer Shabbat, and she has you see women wearing jeans and had their head covered. Will you ever see that in America?
No.
You won't.
But can I explain that?
You'll see that in Israel.
Can I explain it?
And she's not modern, by the way. You can, yeah.
Folks, okay. According to there's something called there's something called Torah law.
Yeah.
And then there's communal then there's
Standards,
like community, not standards, but
accepted things.
Customs, you could say.
Yeah.
And some of them are not good.
Okay.
According to Torah law, which is the only thing that matters.
Okay.
I mean, if you care about Torah, right? If you divorce it from the social communal crap, okay, which is toxic very often. A woman, it doesn't have to wear a skirt.
True.
She has to wear garments which are modest, which are not tight.
Correct.
If she's wearing a pair of pants that don't show, the
the
veins in her
body.
clitoris.
Yeah. Oh God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Then that's fine.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like if she doesn't dip herself in a latex barrel and call that pants, and then walk out the house, dry a little.
There are Orthodox women that they're wearing skirts, but they look like they've done that. Yeah.
But it's the skirts are tight, so somehow it's like So every now and then. Look, the rabbis and the rabbis in the older generation. When they see that, they're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, that's ridiculous. When they see the Kardashian stuff going on there, that's what I call the Tznius Kardashian.
Right. But basically,
it's out of control.
Basically, it's just about not showing the full figure.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that because that sounded weird. Not showing. Leaving a little bit to the imagination. Why does everybody have to know, like the exact contour of your buttock?
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, just wear some regular pants that don't make your head pop off.
Yeah.
With blood pressure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the Torah law.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're gonna wear a skirt, it has to be a little bit loose. It has to be beneath the knee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're gonna wear a shirt, the collar has to be at least by your collarbone, right where it's supposed to be, right? No cleavage, Just because the Torah is asking people to be
conscious,
to be mindful and conscientious of reality.
Reality and of the other, meaning like, there is a responsibility on the woman, because I feel like
people are responsible towards each other.
Yeah.
A woman who doesn't understand her effect on man, right, is an idiot. A woman who understands it and does it anyway that's
so. You know what I've
wicked.
heard? So you know what I've heard? I've heard girls say, "Oh, but even when we walk outside our building, let's say in Manhattan, and even when we're wearing all this loose stuff and this, we still get catcalls because you're a girl."
No, that's not.
I've heard that. Yeah.
I mean, that's a ridiculous statement that she made.
Yeah.
Catcalled by who? Probably some black guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true. Unfortunately, that's true. That's who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Either some
Or
black
construction
guys
workers. Yeah.
or construction workers.
Yeah.
But not even. But
Or what?
construction workers actually going back to Gavin McInnes.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, construction workers when they catcall women,
Yeah.
they're not like it's different. They're always like, hey lady, oh you're so beautiful, God bless. You know? Like,
yeah.
God bless you, you're so
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's not like, hey, I'm gonna, God forbid,
You know?
do something to you. It's it's funny. Oh, I don't know.
It's a cultural thing for black guys,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. No, so it's just.
And you know why?
Yeah.
It fucking works on so many retarded broads.
Of course.
That's why they do it, because it works.
Of course it does. If they didn't work, they would just stop. Listen, the point is, like, there's been all these years where it's like I feel like a lot of people who become religious, become from later in life and go into the Orthodox world, I'll say keep it to single guys, we're just left to our own devices. There's virtually no guidance. Even if you say, well, you have to get a Rebbe, the Rebbes don't guide. Even the guy I had who was remotely...
No, real ones do.
Who knows? So the rabbi that I had, who kind of like floated away from me, I don't know why, but we had these conversations and he was able to at least relate to what I'm saying. I don't know that he could, again, give me the solution, but he could at least relate to what I'm saying, and he could like empathize, and he had the same struggles before he got married.
Let me stick up for them for a second.
Yeah.
Can I stick up for him?
Sure.
So a lot of these rabbis, they're like, look, man, you don't know what to do?
Yeah.
Look what I did.
Yeah.
I fucking left my world. Now
Yeah.
I live in Mea Sharim.
Yeah.
You know, that's like literally in the middle of the
Or whatever,
reservation.
Ramat Bet Shemesh even.
That's
yeah.
it. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
And they don't know how else not to do it.
Yeah. There's no other.
So if you're not gonna do what they do, then they're obviously like, well, what do you want me to tell you?
If you're not doing what I'm doing, you're
Yeah.
not doing anything.
Right. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And they might be right.
And then they'll even point to where it says in the Gemara, and they'll translate that as like, you see, this is literally what it's saying to do. You know, like drag your Yetzer Hara into the base midrash.
Hold on, I gotta do a dip. When I see it,
I also do a dip.
when I see
You'll film me doing a dip. You'll see what
no,
happens.
don't film me do a dip.
I'll film you doing a dip.
Why you gotta film me doing a dip?
I'll film you doing a dip, Jerry.
This is like an OCD thing. When
It's
I see
okay.
An opportunity to do a dip.
It's all
I do a
good.
dip.
Listen, we got to do dips. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Can you do the whole thing with the also the legs like parallel to? Yeah. No, not like that. Not that fruity movement. Just hold. Yeah, just hold it.
My
Hey, you want to film
my firearms were interfering with that for a second.
your hoof? Oh, firearms. I said forearms.
Not my forearms.
Speaking of forearms. Speaking of what we're talking about.
Oh man. Damn it, Greg.
Here, film.
Whatever.
Film the cat.
I don't know why we're doing this, folks. I just wanted to do a dip. I didn't want to film it.
Wait, how do you? I'm just too tall for
You sure? You sure you want to do this?
I'm too tall for this one thing.
You're supposed to have triceps to do a dip. Just kidding. There you go. You got one.
I can do this now.
He is 7 feet tall, folks.
I'm like 6 feet. This is like yeah, I gotta do this.
You out of shape, motherfucker.
I got to do tries, man.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
No, just hit the
Ah,
bench.
terrible, man. Yeah, bench also, but tries is. I used to do tries like a madman when I used to work out. Like a madman.
Try to.
I think I may have pulled something or whatever. We'll find out tomorrow morning.
All right, let's sit back down again. Were we sitting here before?
No.
No.
But this is in honor of Hong Wei Shen. Shaoli and Todd.
Shaoli and Todd.
Maybe it's the same guy. My Chinese name is Shaoli. My American name Todd.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey.
Rodrigo Finkelstein.
Yes. It's like those guys on the boat right there, right? So
What about them?
I don't know, like just like
What?
I'm trying to think.
Spit it out, man.
I'm trying to think. So Shem, like let's assume that those guys have like, let's say, whatever, the amount of money that you mentioned before.
All right.
So Shem just like, here, play with this, and that's it. Well, we have no idea. We have no idea.
We don't understand what God's reasons are.
Yeah,
It's not what they think it is.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I heard this one. I'm not gonna say the name of the rabbi, but he said it in a simple way. He was talking about relationships, like what's permitted to Jews and what's permitted to non-Jews. He goes. If he's like, non-Jewish men want to live with a girlfriend before they get married, and then they get married, they live, they do this, everything is okay, nothing.
100% not true.
Okay,
It's not allowed.
okay,
Non-Jews are also supposed to get married.
okay. He's like, for us, we have to whatever, do it the right way.
Look, there are people who call themselves rabbis that are racist. You realize that, right?
Yes.
But it's not. That doesn't jive with the Torah.
Yeah.
You understand? Like he's just
So how
being
come? So how
dismissive.
come me and my friends are walking around? We're going. If I wasn't a Jew, I would just, some girl referred to me in the mall. I would just do whatever I want. And
Because
this
you're
and that.
ignorant idiots. That's why.
And we're just like, we're
No, look,
going crazy.
There's a difference between what you see
Yeah.
and what's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I gotta do a pull-up now.
Oh my God. More oldness. More demonstration of oldness.
This is like an OCD thing.
I know. No, listen, you see it, you gotta do it, yeah.
I've been like this since I was a kid in Brooklyn. Like
Yeah.
anything you can pull up on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like a street sign.
It's like
a street light.
This is part of our monkey DNA. I'm kidding.
Man, I don't even know if I can get in
I'm
there.
gonna get a lot of flack for
Get in
that
there.
comment.
It's kind of lopsided.
What do you mean? What do you mean our monkey DNA? What are you
This
talking
is a
about?
little. Oh, there's a small.
It is lopsided, but
Here's one for Greg and one for me.
ha ha ha.
No, I can get out there.
Yeah.
Folks, Greg will film me embarrassing myself.
Mm-hmm.
See, even they can't think I can do a pull-up.
Exactly.
That's what they're saying in their
Yes.
Scandinavian.
Yes. No. Oh, so that's what about the one where the other way? Yeah. Sure.
The other one?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Huh.
It's been a while.
You can do it. You can do it.
Oh man. I cannot
Folks,
do
this is the man that saved the world from COVID. Here you go. Hold. He's still alive, thank God. Here. And now
it.
we.
You're actually gonna do this?
I mean, I have this thing at home. And
I don't know, man.
I rarely do it, but actually, there's another guy.
All right. Look at that. All right. Fucking A. Excellent.
Son of a bitch.
Not bad, man.
Yeah, but I only weigh 180. Or no, 185. Whew.
I am a portly.
Portly.
I'm a portly.
Like a port wine. Whew. Actually, you know what? Let me do the 90 here. Hold this. Hold this one.
What, the chin up?
No, not the chin. Let me see if I can do the thing.
My legs. Charlie Murphy, my legs.
Here, folks, this is his video dating resume for J-Date.
I used to be able to do that for 10 seconds, not 2.
Yeah.
Not 1.5. You need that Diet Coke, sir?
Oh, forgot about it.
Don't let him, man.
No, you're right.
Oh, my legs, Charlie Murphy.
looking for it.
What are you doing about my legs, Charlie Murphy?
Oh.
Like linguini.
Yeah, you're...
My legs are like linguini.
Dude, you gotta beef up your legs.
I know. No, but it's not. Even if beef up or no beef up, I haven't done that in a while. I used to do the 10 seconds. That's more for abs, though. Oh, man.
Dude, upper body, you're okay, but you gotta beef up, beef up your legs.
I also gotta get rid of this. I have a little bit of like kind of protruding situation over here.
You need an appointment with the quad father.
Quad father.
No, there's
It's hilarious.
There's this famous bodybuilder.
Yeah.
What's his name? Tom Platz.
Oh my God.
He had he's known
He sounds
for
like he sounds like he did a lot of roids.
They all, I mean, they
Yeah,
all
I'd
did.
say like this guy.
No, but he even among the roided out guys.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not just roids. They train like absolute
No,
maniacs.
they're crazy. Did you ever see what was it? Pumping iron. You guys are
Yeah.
insane. They're
Yeah.
nuts.
No, but this guy was even more extreme.
Yeah.
He came later.
Yeah.
And he was known for having the most giant legs,
Yeah.
quads, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He has a YouTube channel.
Phew. Oh my goodness.
I don't know where I'm going.
All right, that was the workout for the day. Pathetique. What is it? What's that?
Diabolical sabotage.
Yeah.
That was Bugs Bunny.
Symphony Pathétique.
Symphony what?
It's like this musical piece from like classical music. It's literally called Pathétique.
Greg, I'm an uncultured swine.
So am I. That's all I know. You swine. Where's that movies are from?
I know Fleur de Lis.
Fleur de Lis. Oh man, yeah. So now the trick is, so now we're in the.
I know Tosca by Puccini.
Yes. So speaking of this whole discussion, I mean, like, now we're in the time called Shovavim. So the question is, why is that this whole thing connected to this time period of basically where we read about, you know, the Exodus of Egypt, all these 6 Torah portions, 6 weeks.
I'm not proud of it, but Shovavim is the thing I know least about.
Okay.
You know why?
Well, I'm
And
just thinking,
I'm not excusing myself.
Yeah.
I know that I'm pathetic and wrong,
Yeah.
but I kind of, you know, the way people panic around this time,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like I'm turned off by that sort of thing.
I hear you. I'm
know-
not panicking. I'm just, you know.
About the tochechecha,
Yeah.
right, and the you know
Yeah.
all the fire and brimstone
Yeah.
crap, which is abused anyway.
Yeah. Well, can I offer a guess? I mean,
don't know.
we were basically in Egypt on the what was it, the 49th level of impurity. So I guess it has to do with not falling into impurity, into the 50th level, 50th step, as it were. So that might be connected to that, and also the culture of Mitzrayim, the culture of ancient Egypt was kind of.
Can we explain these levels for a second?
We can, we may, we should.
Actually, we're not going to successfully explain it, but kind of. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's go over there for a second. I saw some wave crashes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the end. Oh, I never been to the end here before.
This is the end.
The end, my friend. By the way, I found out that Jim Morrison's father was some kind of nuclear government. Like he was a high level. He had something to do with the dropping of the A bomb.
Yeah.
He was like big in the Manhattan Project and all
Yeah.
this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I heard
course
something
that's the case.
faint, but
Folks, you see, none of these people come out. This is an incestuous. Everybody famous
well, I
came from somewhere.
was talking to somebody who was a few days ago before I got here about the whole thing. I was talking to my mom about how like Bill Gates. We know that Bill Gates is not self-made in a garage, you know, self-assembled, no disassembled. His dad was in
by the CIA.
Yeah, his dad was in the CIA, and it's like, listen, he had enough brains to do what he was doing to carry out something, but like, clearly, you know, even my dad agreed.
Even that's a stretch, man.
I see what you did there. I
Yeah.
see what you did there.
Look at that bird. Bird. Why are all the cool places closed? Explain this to me.
I don't know.
I don't know we can go to the end over there.
Yes.
The end. Okay, so I got distracted by the doors,
By a crane.
by the crane, by the Eggman,
In England, as
by
they
the
would
walrus,
Yeah, exactly.
by the lizard,
As they would say in England, a fit bird.
by the lizard.
You got distracted by a bird.
You know,
a fit-
Jim
yeah.
Morrison is the lizard king.
Yeah.
He called himself that.
What the hell is
We
that?
got to look into that. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
what's up with
That
that?
just hit me.
Speaking
Like,
of,
what?
yeah, speaking of, you know,
Excuse me?
not
The
doing
lizard king.
Yeah.
How did we miss that one?
I think all these people were just on LSD and they saw these figures and they were just like, okay.
No. I think it's more than that. He called himself the lizard king.
Well, yeah.
He's a reptilian.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
So before that, we're talking about Shovavim.
Yeah. The levels, the 49.
Oh yeah, the levels. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Dude, I swear that I thought that was the doors for a second. That would have been freaky.
that would have been a little. Definitely the same era.
Similar keyboard.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I have not seen a garbage can in a long time now.
So you can actually have a beer here and stuff.
You want?
Could do that.
Is this live?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Kind of sound like it.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so when we sit down somewhere,
Yeah.
or we lean against something,
Yeah, we can go over there.
too.
We can go over there.
Talk about levels.
Yeah.
We talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever gone this far on this park.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yes.
All right. So levels, huh? Let's lean against this thing.
Yeah.
Look at the water. I don't want the civilians to overhear this.
Yes. This is like top secret stuff.
This is top secret stuff. It is actually. Listen, the people who listen to us, the 7 people listening right now,
Yes.
you think those are just regular
Well, they're
people?
not listening right now. This is a pre-recorded.
I'm saying, but
Yeah.
when the 7 people are going to listen to this,
Yeah.
you think those are regular people?
150.
Folks, just so you know, if you're listening to this,
Yeah.
right, and anything having to do with Torah,
Hashem chose you
or
to
anything
listen-
relative,
hear this.
Torah chooses which ears
Yeah.
it goes into.
The type of Torah, yeah.
The Torah itself is alive.
Yeah.
If you're getting some Torah information,
Yeah.
then it chose you.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that means there's something
you,
unusual about
there's
you.
something you need for you that's tailored for you.
Yeah. Also, it's most people in the world are not hearing Torah, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Even the ones that are hearing Torah, so to
they
speak.
should be, but not yet. Okay. Levels are sort of like states of consciousness.
Yeah.
That's actually what it is.
Yeah.
They are states of consciousness. So, and it has to do with how open is a person towards serving God and awareness of God, right? And or in the opposite direction, how open or how connected is a person to the level of consciousness of selfish existence, working purely for self. So the two extremes are doing everything only for God, for God's will, okay? And that would be level 1 or level 0, right? We call that Eden or the Garden of Eden, consciousness.
Yeah.
And then if you go, it's all right. If you continue in the other direction, you end up on the 49th level, and that's like the level right before. So the 50th level is where you can't recover from that. If you're on the 50th level of tuma, of what they say of impurity, of unholiness.
Yeah.
Remember, what's holiness? Holiness is being in the service of God, right? Or living, having a service of God consciousness.
Yeah.
So, Tuma means unholiness, which means the exact opposite. It means that which does not serve God, which will not. So, there are people in the world who are so, corporeal.
Yeah.
Our bodies are all corporeal. The things we touch and interact with in this world, it's all corporeal. But our consciousness is not necessarily corporeal. But some people are so into, as we say, there's like a term that Jews say, the gashmias, meaning like material, physical things, things that are not, just selfish sensory experience.
Yeah.
A good meal, a nice big fat steak, a sexy girl, good music, just like enjoying life, Club Med.
No, when I was in Brazil, I was in Rio. They were selling these T-shirts. It basically says "bebe," like drink. Like it's like the figurines on the bathroom, but like he's drinking.
Yeah.
He's watching soccer, playing soccer, and he's doing
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
like basically that.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's like their whole. It's like Brazil.
Right.
That's like the whole.
It's not just
of the whole thing.
It's not just Brazil.
Yeah. But like Brazil's like they're like on the.
You're right. They're
pinnacle of those things.
They're diesel level.
They're like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not irredeemable.
Yeah.
Okay. So when Moses came to remove the Jews out of Egypt, right? So we're taught that they were on the 49th level, and the only thing about them that was Jewish, the only thing about them that kind of kept them as a cohesive or recognizable group was that they spoke their language.
Yeah.
They never gave up their language. They kept their unique way of dressing, right? What was the other? There were 3 things, right? What was the other thing?
No, they didn't stop doing.
And they kept their names, which also kind of you'd be like, what's the difference between that and the language? There is.
That's important,
right? They kept their names.
Yeah.
So in every other way, culturally and in practice, they were Egyptian.
Yeah.
At that stage, because they had been so immersed in the corporeality and the
It's kind of like in what happened in Soviet Union in modern times.
kind of like what happened in every country.
Can I do a quick factoid to folks at home? I found out if you spell out, if you take, USSR and you spell it out the way it's spelled in Russian, SSSR,
Yeah.
and then you transpose that to Hebrew, that's Samach, 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 Reish. That is Gematria 380. Same Gematria as Mitzrayim.
Yeah.
You can do it at home if you want. I already,
We
I double checked this.
We did it once or twice on
Yeah.
other episodes.
Yeah. I just wanted to, insert that. So, I came out of the modern day version. If you want to say.
Yep.
You want to start
I
walking?
mean, we're still kind of in it.
It's kind of in it, but the physical aspect.
And folks, even more than just like regular sex, drugs, and rock and roll,
Yeah.
right? And just kind of like enjoying a good steak and just living a very mundane existence, right?
Yeah.
There's more.
Yeah.
Because spirituality, let's talk about spirituality. Let's go back actually. I don't know the water. I just want to get away from them nosy broads.
It's like,
What the heck can't deal with some nosy broads?
this is the first time we wanted to do that. Unfortunately.
seat.
Unfortunately.
So, Egypt was more than just Brazil. They had a spirituality. So spirituality is just like a kind of like a general term.
Mhm.
It's neutral.
Yeah.
It can be good or bad. Some people think that the moment they hear something spiritual, they think it's good.
Yeah.
Most spirituality is actually probably bad.
Yeah.
There's the spirituality of evil, spirituality
Yeah.
of the world.
It's like this girl who was trying to
The physical universe.
Somebody messaged me last night. She's telling me about some girl that she knows she's about true, and she goes, "Yeah, she's very spiritual." I'm like, "Well, I checked out the girl's page, and I'm like, the girl went to before she became Baltruva, she went to what is it called? Burning Man. She went to here. She went to she went to Buddhism, Thailand. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Not this. I'm not judging her. I did similar
Right.
things, but the
Right.
point is, it doesn't mean that it's
Right.
the right path.
Correct.
She's very spiritual. She can have dark forces in her. It's very spiritual.
Right. Chicks in California say,
Yeah.
I'm religious, I'm not spiritual, but
Religious, I'm spiritual.
I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, yeah.
I'm like, and then you come to their, and then you see what they have in their apartment, and it's like all kinds of
Yeah.
wind chimes and statues.
Folks, the Satanists are also spiritual,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it depends on what, like, you have something in the Torah language, it's called the Sitra Achra. We've mentioned it
Yeah.
many times,
Yeah.
okay? So God created what I term, I coined this term, I believe, the free will department. I'm
Mhm.
sure somebody else used it before, but
Mhm.
so it's the department of evil. God created evil for a reason, because it facilitates free will.
Mm-hmm.
But this department of evil is a parallel structure to the holy spiritual system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever there is on the side of holiness, it has its mirror or something that corresponds to it on the level of unholiness.
Mhm.
Okay, so there are entire spiritual disciplines that are attached entirely to the unholy spirituality.
So Tuma, it's called.
Tuma, okay, and the Egyptians were the greatest ever. They were the greatest ever at the spiritual sciences of evil.
Yeah.
So the 49th level of Tuma, the 49th level of impurity is involved in that kind of stuff. It's more than just enjoying a really good steak and watching porn, and going out to the and doing coke.
Yeah.
Okay, it's really much further than that. If that's all it was,
That would have been like,
right, it wouldn't have been.
as
such
we
an
say in the
urgent
Haggadah
situation.
Daeru.
If that's all they were dealing with,
Yeah.
in Egypt, it wouldn't have been such an urgent situation for them to survive spiritually.
To get the heck out.
Yeah. So literally, we celebrate Passover, and this whole thing about we had to leave so fast from Egypt
Yeah.
that we didn't even give our bread a chance to rise.
Yeah.
So the question is, why? Why were we rushing out of there so fast? Well, like Pharaoh wasn't chasing us. He we had time. We had more time to make provisions. No, we didn't. It wasn't because of Pharaoh. It was because of our. It was because of our spiritual. It was because of what was happening to the soul. They had to get out of that environment
Mm-hmm.
to as quickly as possible to even survive spiritually. Okay, had nothing to do with Pharaoh and his army in that particular moment. Okay, so when we celebrate Passover, the idea is we're rushing away from negative spiritual forces and rushing like an emergency to God, back back to awareness and the consciousness of God. So that's what's going on right now in the parsha, right?
And it was so much so that we had to walk around in the desert to where, the generation had to die out, the generation that knew, that kind of was like seeped in more so in that. Again, it's like, go back to the Soviet Union, like our parents, right? They were seeped more in that stuff, and they have every step they take. I don't know if your parents like this. Every step they take in life is based in, depending on how much of that kind of mentality they absorbed when they were there, comes from that mentality, meaning fear. It's like a lot of it is fear, for example. Yeah. I see what you see. A lot of it's fear. A lot of it's like.
Sorry, folks. I made him turn the camera away so you don't catch me looking at. Go on.
Yes, looking at birds.
Yeah.
Actual
birds.
Yeah. No, so like a lot of decisions are based on when you talk to so you come to your parents and you talk to them about why did you do it that way at that time and instead of this way, and they'll answer, "Но никто не знал." Nobody knew.
How could you know?
That how did we know that we would that your father, let's say, for example, would get that job later on and we would be okay? How did we know that this, how do we I can't say Americans don't live life that way.
They don't live that way. You know why?
I mean,
because they're really, Americans are a little bit more familiar with the idea of faith.
Well, not only that, they have if their family has been here for a while, there's something called legacy. There's something called generational wealth. Even on a low level.
I'm not talking about that at all.
Also faith.
The average American
and positivity.
The average American. Say whatever. Like let's say 8th generation.
Yeah.
5th generation. Whatever.
Yeah. Somebody came over like Mayflower.
That didn't receive any generational wealth. Yeah. America is just a country.
It's a go-getter.
Where the idea of faith was more. People were more conscious of it than in Soviet Russia.
Yeah.
Okay, and it really made all the difference in the world. It's part of the American spirit.
Which makes it fascinating that my father inherently had that. Even over there, he already inherently had that. What you could call the American spirit, or now I call it the Berdichev spirit, or the whatever he inherited from his ancestor.
The American spirit.
It's God. And unfortunately, I mean, I guess my mom doesn't have it, but less so, and also in part to her relatives and her, the way she was raised. I have both of those in me, by the way, growing up. And I have that positivity and I have that faith in Emunah, but I also have that oh man, what's going to be and what's it and what's that. So I think listen, I've met Ashkenazi American Jews who have that as well, because they come from that, that background. But
faith.
You really see it. You really see it in our community in particular, where it's just like. It's funny, I see a lot in the Orthodox world now that, in dating where, on the one hand you're told, that getting married will help you, speaking of Shafa, will help you with Shafa, will help you with Parnasa, with income, will help you with a lot of things.
It's not going to help you. What it means is that God put aside something for you for your marriage,
for your kids, and for your kids,
and that means that it activates that.
It activates that, and also for your kids. Every child has their mana, as it says. So I tell this to people in the Orthodox world, like people who are trying to set me up with me, or like rabbis. What? Don't rely on that. You have to make your own thing before that. Don't rely on that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I see that while I'm not married and I'm trying, and stuff is kind of just stagnant, right? Maybe, this is my logical conclusion, maybe getting married and having kids would maybe a little bit help that, a little bit.
But it's not necessarily true.
I'm not saying it's not necessarily true, but these people are outright just completely wiping it off the table. These are Orthodox people.
But they're not being very Orthodox in that moment.
I know,
okay.
I know. In other moments also, not just on that moment.
Okay, so okay, Yasser Arafat, Farrakhan. Okay.
You want to walk?
Hang on, let me. This is not live, right?
It's not live, yeah.
I have to take a phone call.
Okay.
For a minute.